Alright, let's get started. My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel your best and perform your best. Today we're speaking all about how to become irresistible from the nice guy into the savage shaman, okay? Now, in my own journey, I've started to explore something very, very deeply. And it's this understanding of being conditioned by concepts of love, okay? We've grown up in different cultures, probably. But I understood that as I was watching Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, perhaps maybe even some cartoons, or Hallmark, or Disney Channel, and all this kind of stuff, there would be certain images that would get attached to my mind, right? Like an imprint. And unconsciously, I would go throughout my life seeking that kind of experience, not knowing that I was fed these conditions. I was not aware at that age that I was putting these ideas into my subconscious mind, and I'm sure you weren't either. So now it's time to get real with yourself and start to create your own conscious relationship framework. What would a relationship look like if it was for you? Okay? If it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. What would that relationship really look like? So yeah, you want to create your own relationship framework, okay? So understand that craving comes from insecurity. Desire comes from security. When it becomes to a point of obsession, there's this unhealthy thing happening in the background. If you are dealing with matters of love and relationship and romance and attraction, things might get messy, okay? Things might get very convoluted and confusing. There might be other people with their own opinions that gets projected onto you. Maybe she's had past bad relationships and she's projecting that onto you now. That you're supposed to be that way as well. Okay? So it's important for you to, first of all, be the gatekeeper. Be the one who sets the boundaries. Okay? Be the guardian of the yang. Be the guardian of pureness, purity, sacredness, and light energy. Protect that. You see? You want to be a protector. A nice guy cannot protect because a nice guy is agreeable and non-confrontational. Okay, they will run away from a situation. They'll avoid a situation. Now, it could be through a fear that you're acting as well, that you're leaning into the situation too fast. Okay? That's a trauma response too. So there's two extremes. We want to be a kind man or a kind woman. We don't want to be a nice guy or a nice girl, okay? This is where you are being inauthentic. And if you look at someone like Diogenes, okay? Diogenes the cynic, the philosopher, in ancient Greek philosophy and Stoicism, his story is shared quite a lot for being that bad boy who doesn't need anything from the world. He's just seeking the present moment. He has the sense of security that I'll be fine wherever I am, wherever I go. Which is why, the king's wife even finds him attractive. Okay? If you guys know that story. Diogenes has this idea that show me the person's authenticity. Show me the human. Okay? I want to see the human. I don't care what his roles, what his status is, what his how much he has in his bank account, how much he, goes out clubbing. It doesn't matter. What is this person's spirit, their soul, their aliveness, their energy? What is that like? So it's going off of a different metric and an understanding of course, being very objective, rational, an understanding of one's true nature. It's not to be cynical in all situations, but it is to have a skeptical mind so you don't fall into being too gullible or naive or trapped by some of the dogma of society. Because if you really believe that, oh, I'm here to get married and, have kids and, then they'll have their families, and then you're already in this kind of hamster wheel way of thinking about things, okay? You think that that's how it's supposed to go, and you've gone that way. But deep within your core, there is another version of you, and you know this. It's the beast. And you might be keeping the beast locked up in a cage, okay? Maybe you bring him out in certain moments, okay? Maybe when you're making love to your partner, the moment comes out, right? Where suddenly you find yourself becoming rough, whereas earlier you couldn't apply that assertiveness. Well, this is what happens with a lot of nice guys, is they repress all of their emotions. They hold all of it in, and they let it broil and fester. So in random moments, the woman can trigger him. And so it's important that emotional regulation is first of all felt as the number one thing that you need to get a good control over if you are going to go into a healthy, interdependent relationship with somebody else. Because their emotions are their emotions, and your emotions are your emotions, okay? Your anger does not look like theirs. Your sadness does not look like theirs, okay? It's a subjective experience. Okay, yeah, there's similarities, sure. Okay, the physiological changes, the head getting warm when you're angry, or like, you biting down on your jaws. Yeah, there's the physiological reasons and different things that you're seeing. But perhaps there is a deeper meaning. And always seek the deeper meaning in these situations. Because if you understand that there is a deep spiritual meaning to the lessons in this relationship that you're going through currently, or as you're dating, you're learning something new from each person that you're dating, or if you are, you want to be settled down and be with your family, and you're still exploring, how to spice up that understanding and that relationship too, so it's important to know that where you're going to and how you're going to build and run this movie out. And I would tell you that direction is more important than speed, okay? Speed is important, don't get me wrong, okay? We're spiritual athletes in this place, so we're getting the fast attunements, the fast energy work done, moving through the portals, opening the wound, cleaning the wound really fast, and then moving on to the next wound. That's good, but you also want a good integration phase so you can allow yourself to heal, okay? It's important for you to give yourself time to heal, and then you doing intentional activity within that time, okay? That will add to the healing. People just say, well, time will heal, okay? No, okay? Time by its own nature does not automatically heal. Yeah, it might, but it depends on the actions that you take towards your own betterment and your healing. So either you're blocking off some of the benefits or the blessings from the universe, you're going, that's not possible, and you're getting too skeptical, right? You're getting too cynical rather than that freedom or that rebellious spirit that Diogenes has, right? That ability to go, I don't need anything. I have everything right here, and that is me. And that freedom to run through this game, understanding that you don't need their rules, you don't need their laws, you don't need their, understandings. Of course, don't break the rules. Read the disclaimer, okay? You are here to create your own reality. So let's get back to this understanding of you are now going to create a relationship framework for yourself. What is your relationship framework? What do you look for when it comes down to a relationship? Okay, and I'm speaking about romantic relationships in general, but you can create different frameworks for your family relationships, your interpersonal colleague relationships, and friendships and so forth. But for right now, we're focusing on romantic relationships. What is the ideal partner for you? Now, I know a lot of people can get very, very nitpicky about what they truly prefer, and then they're blocking off blessings even further. He has to be this height. He has to be this good looking. He has to be this smart. He has to have this at least in his bank account. Okay? Yeah, we look for all of these indicators. We all look for all of these things, right? And it's important you start to recognize that, right? Is a girl going to automatically, fall in love with you because you work at McDonald's? I don't think so. But, if you have the riz, if you have the character to back it up, and you can prove to yourself and in your own life that that is a stepping stone to your greater calling, you can make that work, bro. You see what I'm saying? So your relationship framework, you got to understand and place it, first of all, within the context of your society, your reality, wherever you're at. Find all of the justifications, all the distortions, first of all, around your relationships before you create the framework, okay? So what I'd get you to do is just make a list of all the limiting beliefs, all the distortions, the lies that you've been fed, okay? There's only one soulmate that you have your entire life, okay? There is, a twin flame, and only your twin flame matters, and you have to constantly, block them away from your life in order to thrive. Like these little weird myths that we have, right? In spiritual communities or cultures, and it's just like all this gunk, right? All this other people's opinions infiltrating your own, okay? You cannot be with multiple people, okay? Another distortion. Again, cheaters will always be cheaters. Is like if you have in the past cheated on somebody, do you think that datum of cheaters will always be cheaters helping you in any way? Or is it keeping you stuck in the same pattern? You see? So don't let other people decide for you that this is what the reality is. Okay? Because they will. They will make a conclusion to validate their own ego, to preserve their own self. Okay? And this is what nice guys and nice gals do. Okay? They're just in it for themselves. It's just the self-protection. They're just acting nice to be well liked. Okay? It's not a genuine niceness. Okay? They're doing it so they can appear well liked, and so other people won't take advantage of them. I want you to watch this video by Teal Swan. She just posted it quite recently. It's called Why Nice Guys Kill. Okay, go check that out. Now you probably not understanding this, but this is related to the whole incel manosphere stuff too, because we start to understand that men's self-esteem, because men's consciousness is slowly becoming more distorted into this dark energy, okay? And they want to confine men into the lower chakras and stay there, okay? They want to keep you on a hamster wheel of feeling unsafe, feeling fearful, okay? And feeling like you have no creativity, you have no choice. Okay, you have no personal autonomy, which is the, going into the solar plexus. So again, it's extra work you're going to have to put in with cleansing your chakras, okay? Now, there's a lot of different path workings online. Focus on the path that resonates with you the most. I keep saying this, guys, okay? But it's so important that you follow the path that is meant for you. If you're a musician, why are you learning only through your visuals? You got to get into the auditory, okay? Listen to chants and mantras on YouTube. Start listening to things, okay? Tapping into those sounds, and just be in silence and listen to the sounds of your environment, right? Like the weird, sounds of my air conditioning, okay? Very strange sounds. Almost feels like it's alive at times, okay? That's the sound that it gives. You gotta find out what is special about you, okay? What are your strengths? And amplify those. If you have really nice hair, you gotta show it off, okay? I don't even know why I'm wearing this, right? I'm gonna show it off. Come on now. I'm practicing what I preach, okay? If you have nice hair, you better show it off, okay? If you have nice eyebrows, you better show it off and shape them in a way, okay? Mine aren't shaped, by the way. Mine are naturally like this. I don't shave. I just go down the middle sometimes, okay? How do you grow a beard? You work on your testosterone. You work on, doing what you can. Listening to the beard subliminals. Listening to, getting some beard oil, maybe, perhaps. Whatever it is that you want right now, put all of your consciousness into that. Now, when you're in school, it's rigged against you, bro, because you're doing like sports, you're doing extracurriculars, you're hanging out with your friends at recess, then you also have all these projects, then you have to go from class to class, right? It's like your consciousness is super split, okay? But then you have those students who are just like only athletics, right? And they use their athletic scholarship to get to the college program or whatever, right? Then that person becomes the specialist. And the specialist, can always take over, opposed to the someone who's doing everything for everybody. Okay? So I'm not the type of life coach, you could say, that's gonna help every single person. Okay? I'd be deluded to think that I can help everybody. Okay? People might get help from my services and my, YouTube videos and my content. Sure, that's valid. But to be able to resonate with me, to work with me one-on-one, you need to be at that level where you're curious to learn and you're coachable and you're applying and you're, going forward and like moving with your own acceleration and getting excited about your avatar upgrades and so forth. When you start finding yourself getting excited on this journey again, let's say you just recently got divorced and you're like, I want to get out there again, man. I want to figure this thing out. Let's go, okay? That's a good time to reinvent yourself. That's a good time to start doing the inner work properly, okay? It's a good time to really give yourself an outcome like that. And a lot of men, their egos are so fucking big, they're like, I can do it all myself. And then they burn out really fast. They struggle. They trudge themselves through the snow to try to get them to the other side. It's like people are out there with their service, with their magic, with their gift, and you're choosing to stay small and stuck, Even if it's just like a free conversation, right, that you get with this other person. You got to understand that value, okay, is priceless. Is really priceless, because if you started to value your interactions, okay, what if every time you spoke to somebody, it was like you were giving them 10K? Okay, this is a concept from AZD. So what if you were speaking to somebody and you're bringing that value, like what you were saying was worth 10K, and that's the energy that you walk around with. You walk around with the aura that you have self-worth, that you stand for something, that you're worthy of something, that you're worthy of living how you want, being how you want, Of course, there's going to be little resistances and things that you're going to have to overcome. There's going to be a little bit of rust. You just got to shake it off. Like an animal, as they go through trauma, they quickly shake it off, right? They roll around and they do a bunch of things, and then they're out of it, right? We as humans, for some reason, we have this whole justification thing that we do with our intellectual mode, and we get into this weird patterns of trying to, stay in our old patterns, trying to judge ourselves, trying to, stick to different codes, trying to, split ourselves in various directions. So that stuff can only work for so long, right? Then it gets to a point where you strategically start to move in this video game, and you stop being this pretend nice guy, kind of this docile, pacified version of you. You start tapping into your divine dark masculine. You start integrating that divine dark masculine with the light side as they meet together in a cafe for the first time. I know I've given this visualization earlier, but really try to concentrate with this merging, okay? Imagine two parts of you, the good side and the bad side, whatever it is, okay? Let's make this dualistic. It's easier, okay? The devil and the angel within you. Every man has both, every woman has both, okay? It's in the cartoons, see the devil and the angel on the shoulder. That is your guilty conscience, okay? So let your guilty conscience meet in a cafe for the first time. Whatever they're ordering, get them that. Then you want to listen in on their conversation. What are they speaking about? And let them speak it out, and you be the mediator in the middle, okay? You practice your mediation skills of your lower chakras, higher chakras, of your good and your bad internally, the obedient nice guy and the rebellious bad boy within. You get them to have a conversation with each other, okay? And as they have a conversation, let them hug and merge into one. That is the priest-beast symbiote, transmutation that is taking place, the transfiguration of both of these beings that are going through this kind of sacred union to merge into one yin-yang, polarity, the oneness that truly exists within, okay? So you're not being nice to be fake nice. you're genuinely a good person and you're emitting those frequencies in the authentic time that it's required. But at the same time, you have this skilled craftsman, craftswoman energy about you. You know, this technical nature, this very mechanical side of you that knows and creates structure and discipline around your own life as you start to move forward into your new golden age. There's a full moon tonight. It's storming outside, so all the water deities, all the rain gods are blessing us with their presence. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this. I would say if you want to be irresistible, first of all, start out by knowing that how can you turn yourself on? How do you get aroused, right? And you got to be able to seduce yourself, right? You've got to be able to like know what you're really into. Once you know that, it's very easy to create your relationship framework. Because in that particular case, then you have your desires very fleshed out. And I don't want you to make this list of desires. As you start writing also afterwards, you do the framework, you write a list of your desires. What do you truly desire, right? That just feels like it'll just be a fantasy or like something that it would truly make you like, damn, I ticked that off the bucket list, right? If you want to be irresistible, you got to be fascinated by your own process, okay? And this is really important. You've got to be like absolutely exhilarated by your own self being the drug, okay? Your character is the drug, right? You allow yourself to get fascinated with your own self-awareness and your own self-knowledge. And you start to piece things together, and you'll start to notice that once you have this organic quality about you, like you can speak to anybody anywhere. You don't have this state dependence anymore. You see, a lot of people have state dependence. I need to be fully tapped in, fully amplified, fully in the zone in order to talk to this other person. Like, no, you don't. I can be tired, lazy, in a bathrobe, eye crusties in, you know, hair looking like I just, you know, crawled out of the Amazon, you know, completely unshaven, unkempt, sweaty as a motherfucker, right? Walking through just being like, what's up? I'm cool with that. And that's what you got to practice, man. Just like, you know, can they see me at my worst and be, I'm still chill with it. That makes you irresistible. If you can be at your cringiest and worst and be cool with it, that makes you absolutely irresistible. It's like, how do they do that? What do they do? How come they aren't insecure about that? But they're actually they've accepted that part of themselves. You're going to get conversations like this happening. Right? And people will try to figure you out. Whenever you are an enigma, a riddle, a mystery, a walking question mark of a character, people are always going to try to figure you out, and that's how you stay in people's minds. Okay? You become beyond human. Okay, what human beings are doing, you do something completely that way. It's like all of society is conforming like sheep this way, and you're going skirt, right? And that little bit of that rebellious nature within you to not conform, actually to pave your own path, gives you the actualization of a leader, somebody who goes and trudges through the snow to figure out, it's like, we don't have enough wood for the campfire, I'm gonna figure out how to get us some extra rations. That protector quality of figuring things out anywhere that you are. Okay, that improvisational nature of survival. You place me in the middle of the desert and I'll be able to figure myself out. That is the essence. That is that enigmatic and irresistible quality in somebody. Okay, now for the woman, I would definitely say what makes you irresistible is your looks. Okay, straight up, your beauty, your looks. I'm gonna be, 100% with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I think, yes, personality is important, absolutely. But I've known, fat girls who've lost weight over the years, okay, have an incredible personality, okay? You guys have noticed this, right? It's like she's the cute girl, but she has this quirky, goofy personality. That's the perfect combo, to be honest with you. So you're already better, right? If you're a little bit chubby as a woman, and you're like, I'm gonna work on my weight loss, don't call it a weight loss journey either, okay? A lot of people are promoting fat as healthy and beautiful and popular, and that is actually keeping you stuck in that weight class as well, because You've accepted it so much. Again, accepting it is okay, like, you know, but popularizing and romanticizing it as if it's the ideal body type and putting it up on billboards, you know, is a different story, right? Because now we're painting a different picture of what unhealthy looks like, actually, you know, is, hey, maybe they have some health problems or diabetes or, you know, different things that they're working on, right? And so it's important for people to recognize their own health journey and not get it plastered in their faces like this. Even with the abs and all that stuff, like, take that stuff down too. It's the abs and, like, hey, sex sells. I mean, we can't deny that, and that's gonna always be there. However, start to take your power back, okay? I'm not big boned. I'm not coming up with all these excuses anymore. I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm gonna get fit, okay? Whatever, no holds barred, right? I'm gonna do it at home by myself. If not, I need a trainer. If I don't get a trainer, I'm gonna do it myself. You know, I'm gonna find the guidance on YouTube. I'm gonna do it myself, okay? Like, really, you need that impetus and that encouragement, okay? Because I'm gonna tell it like it is, okay? You not taking care of your own body, what do you think that's telling your future offspring, okay? If you are to have any. I mean, genetically speaking, right? What are your kids looking at as you're leading this lifestyle? You know? And that really makes you wake up as a person, right? You start going, wait, if I did have kids, I would actually lead my life quite differently. But that's the genetic game. That's how you've got to get leading your life, but doesn't mean that you have to have kids. You see what I'm saying? But our programming has been made so that we have that genetic awareness, I'm saying, okay? So you got to lead your life with that dad energy as a man, with that mom energy as a woman. It's like that mom frame. You're seeing the world as a mother, right? And the reason why we have so much emotional men is because they're mama's boys. They haven't overcome the fear of their mother. They haven't forgiven their mother yet. They hold so much resentment towards her, and so they become his behavior becomes like his mother's. You see? You'll start to notice that if you start feeling in your relationship more suffocated, more controlled, that's a motherly energy, okay? Because that is the anxious and you are the avoidant. The overprotective anxiousness, okay, of the overbearing one, and the one who's just curling up into a ball, going inwards. Their parents are fighting in the other room, and so the child is scared and hiding in his own room, okay? That is the energy of the avoidance, okay, that you're learning that's what love looks like. Love has got to be constant arguments, right? And so we have a different idea of love growing up, and we've got to change that narrative around. Now it's time for you to create your relationship framework, because you don't want to repeat those old patterns from your own family, okay? Of course, maybe you had an amazing family and you had loving parents, and that's very lucky if that was the case for you. But in a lot of Asia, you know, we got hit as kids, you know, we got a lot of punishment and so forth. And so it kind of puts us into a very programmed state, right? We associate punishment and pain for behaving in very fun or carefree or adventurous or nonsensical ways, right? It's like, stop being so goofy, grow up. We heard this so many times growing up, you know? It's like, oh, stop being so lazy. And as we start hearing that, we start becoming that. You see, because it's a type of brainwashing, it's a type of manipulation. If parents say that we're constantly lazy all the time, we will, after a while, our sense of willpower will diminish, and we will actually believe them. You see? So if we're a child and we're still gaining our advantage of our own ego and self-esteem, and a parent is telling us these things, it's actually getting into our system. So we have to cleanse that. We have to cleanse ourselves of that. We have to understand that we are not our programming. Okay? But yeah, man, this is going to be a long journey, but it's going to be an exciting journey, because once you understand how to really do the inner child healing work, the mother wound, father wound healing, working with the chakras, working with deities that help this process and transmute, a lot of gunk in a very short amount of time. So if you're interested in the Adepts program, we have a lot of channeled sessions as well, where I channel these different beings, higher dimensional, lower dimensional beings, okay? And really, really, creating that container in that space where we're getting these instructions. Yesterday night, it was around shadow work with BBA, so it was very, very powerful. But yeah, if you guys are interested, let me know. Shoot me a message. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you, and stay legendary. Let's get it today. We're all gonna make it. Us, upward spiral gang.